What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Over or Under. I'm your host, Dylan Dobson. Got a lot of stuff to get into today. Is the Taysom Hill experiment over in New Orleans? Is it time for Jameis Winston? Will Brees be back? Green Bay has the number one seed in the NFC. Can they hold on to it? Kansas City has the number one seed in the AFC. Steelers lost on Sunday night. Will KC hold on to that number one seed? Is Lamelo a better passer than Lonzo? The NBA Finals predictions and the fact the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 55 games. November 19th of 2017 was the last time they allowed a 100-yard rusher. And that was Samaje Perine for the Washington Redskins, now Washington football team. But let's get into it. Is the Taysom Hill experiment over? I think so. I hope Brees is back for this Kansas City game. It would be a huge comeback for the Saints to have Brees back on probably the biggest game on the schedule besides the Tampa Bay games. This is a game they need to win. It's going to be a tight fight with the defending champs. Kansas City got a lot of weapons, got a lot of speed. Saints, they got a lot of weapons. They got speed. They got a lot of rushers, and that offensive line can hold Drew Brees up, and they can hold on to that defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs. They match up really well. If Taysom does start, I expect him to not be a pocket quarterback and have that pocket presence that he did in Philadelphia, which I actually think hurt him. He was trying to hold the ball a little too long, wound up taking sacks, strip sack fumbles. It's stuff the Saints cannot have when they're trying to be in contention for the number one seed and wrap up the division. Taysom, to me, needs to see when he sees a lane, run. He's got the speed. He's a big guy, big athletic quarterback. He has to take off and slide and not fumble the football and turn it over. He did have 2 more passing touchdowns this game against Philadelphia, so I like seeing that. But to me, I think either Winston needs to step in and let's see what he can do, or hopefully they'll have Drew Brees back, and that'll be a big step up on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, I think they can match up with the Chiefs really well, and that speed of Tyreek Hill and containing Travis Kelce. They played against Greg Kittle. It's a fair comparison, but not the same type of style. I liked what Miami did against Kansas City. Those zero blitzes, rushing those extra safeties and those nickels off the edge to create a mismatch, but they have to get to Patrick Mahomes sooner, and they have to wrap up and make tackle the first time. They can't allow him to extend the play and let those receivers get over him with the extra time. Green Bay got the number one seed due to the Saints' loss. Well, I think that Green Bay lost to Minnesota once this year, and they may lose again if they can't contain Dalvin Cook and let Dalvin run all over them like they did in the first game. But I would think Saints fans would like to see, it would be nice to have home field advantage and get that bye week, but I'd rather play a 7 seed in the wild card and leave the 5th or 6th seed as Tampa and let Washington or whoever the winner of the West is. Right now, the Rams. And then possibly, if Tampa beats the Rams and they're the lowest remaining seed, then I would prefer Green Bay having to deal with Tampa for a second time this season in Lambeau rather than the Saints have to deal with them for a third time. Third time's a charm. We don't know what could happen. Yes, they have won both games against Tampa Bay this season, but third time's a charm, and you never know what could happen in the playoffs. Kansas City has the number one seed thanks to Pittsburgh's loss against the Bills on Sunday night. KC can hold on to it. I think they will. Whether they lose to the Saints or not this week, I think Kansas City holds on I think Pittsburgh will lose another divisional game and let KC wrap up the number 1 seed. For the AFC, it was going to be Kansas City or it was going to be Pittsburgh. I thought Baltimore may have been a little bit better this season, coming off that 14-2, but the divisional loss to the Titans. Now we don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. Yes, they beat the Browns last night, but they're not. People are finding out how to contain Lamar. I think the Browns, they may win a playoff game. I think they win a wild card playoff game. If it happens to be that they're the 7th seed, which I don't think they will be, it could be another potential matchup with Pittsburgh. But right now, I think they're going to be playing Tennessee. The Saints haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher since Samaje Perine in Washington, against Washington, November 19th, 2017. 55 games. So it's bound to happen, right? Well, lightning struck twice. 2 100-yard rushers this past game. Jalen Hurts, the rookie quarterback, ran for over 100. And then Sanders ran for over 100. He did have a big chunk of his 100 yards on that 81, 82-yard touchdown rush. But, hey, it happens. And you got to think, the Saints played Todd Gurley at least 3 times. They've played Zeke twice. They played guys like Leonard Fournette, Matt Forte even. Hey, they held some good backs to less than 100 yards. 55 games. Hey, maybe they can do it again. Maybe they can bring the streak back alive. Those 2 100-yard rushers. Let's get it over with. I don't think that coming into the Kansas City game, I don't think Edwards-Helaire will rush for 100 yards. But I do believe they have to contain Tyreek Hill. Now, is Lamelo a better passer than Lonzo? I personally believe yes. I think he has better court vision. And I think he's going to have more the type of teammates in Charlotte that are going to be that, run and do the flashy dunk and flashy passes. I think it's going to be kind of a rebirth of what Chris Paul and Blake Griffin were with the Clippers. And now it's going to be LaMelo and Bridges and Gordon having those flashy passes. You see some of them in the preseason games, and you'd like him to make some smarter passes, but I think his court vision is a lot better, and he's just a lot better passer than Lonzo. Now, my NBA Finals predictions. Season starts, I believe, next week. So here's what I'm going to have it. Western Conference Finals, Mavs and Lakers. Clippers, maybe, but I give the Mavs a better shot at facing the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the depth is crazy. You got the Celtics, you got the Bucks, you got the Sixers, you got the Heat coming off a Finals appearance in which nobody thought they would. So who do you pick? Jason Tatum and Kemba out in Boston? Do you go for Giannis and the Bucks? Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and them boys playing out in Miami? The 76ers? The Nets? With KD and Kyrie? Well, my pick, Jason Tatum and Kemba and the Celtics against Giannis and the Bucks. As the finals come around, I look for the Lakers and the Celtics to go at it. Let's get that rebirth of that rivalry in the 80s. And Kobe and Ray Allen and them boys going at it in the 2010s. I just think it's going to happen. I think that is the best way that the finals could be. I think it's going to be an exciting finals if that happens. But I would not pass up on Giannis and the Bucks. Also, that's a close second. I think that Eastern Conference Finals we can go to 7 games. I think the Western Conference, it'll be a 5-game stretch, but we'll have to see what happens. Thank you for watching. This is episode 4. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. Leave the comment down below. I appreciate the love. Y'all have a good night.